Hey everyone, don't forget to stay tuned till after the video if you want to find out how to support me or where to follow me on social media. And also, if you like this video and like what I do, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for choosing me, and on with the video.
A plus-size influencer, Jalen Chaney, demands free extra seats on a flight.
As my petition states, all plus-size passengers should be provided with an additional seat or 2 or 3 depending on their size and need. Airlines should also offer a straightforward refund process for those who are buying additional seats independently.
I have coffee, but I really like soup for lunch. I have bone broth for lunch a lot.
You know, what I find most mental about this is that we've known for years that she is okay with glorifying her eating disorder.
New recommendations to treat childhood obesity now include weight loss pills and surgery. That's according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, which updated its guidelines for the first time in 15 years.
Testing. This is a very important testing. So, this is not how I intended. You see, it is 10:52 p.m. on May the 4th, and I, about 5 days ago, recorded roughly 6 videos to show to you guys. All of them are mute. Every one of them. Every single one. I don't know why. So, what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna fucking wing it, okay, kids? We gonna wing it. I got Zorro on my shoulder because I was getting ready to edit. I had my editing water bottle. So, let's just go for it. Okay, so let's, cat out of the bag, since it's something that a lot of folks have mentioned over the last 2 years. I know. It's gone. This au natural, including this. Because some folks, I've gotten the question, because I've obviously uploaded shorts, and in the shorts, you guys have seen my natural hair. Some folks have even said, don't go back to the rainbow. Well, they did. Don't tell me what to do, because then I'm going to do the opposite. I mean, I'm a woman after all. So, update. We're going to get a couple of things out of the way. We're going to complain today, okay? We're just going to vent. All right? So, to begin with, I want to address my last video. Guys, if I don't use the proper pronouns, I'm doing it on purpose. I don't play pretend with people who I don't respect. Now, if you are in my audience and you are trans, clearly you are someone I can respect because you want to listen to reason and you also don't believe in mutilating kids. So, let's start with that. But if you're going to talk about these people like Cute Fat Queer and the Fat Doctor UK, people who are actively injuring people with their platforms, spreading medical misinformation that could lead to health problems for people and impressionable young children, and pretending these are facts purely because these women do not want to hear that they are overweight and that is unhealthy. I'm not going to play pretend for them. I'm not. Asher and Laura can be as mad as they want, but these are people that already want you to play pretend. Don't you find something odd? The same people that have these ideologies also don't believe in actual medical facts about their bodies and weight loss and health. Sorry. I don't want to be insulting. I'm just being honest. If I respect you, then I use them. That's it. So that's out of the way. Other thing I want to address is, guys, I can't always speak everything in a video. There's a reason why I put the text up. I have tried it. As a matter of fact, with the Tess Holiday video where she was saying, she was saying this.
Your body does not know the difference between a chicken Caesar salad or this. Your body doesn't know the difference. Your body's only job is to break down the protein, fats, and carbs that you put in your body.
Yeah, when I did the comparison, I originally spoke out the entire thing, and it was like an extra 10 or 15 minutes of me pontificating. It's a lot quicker for me to flash up a thing on screen that you have to pause. And I like the dings. And I have to use the background music because my house has 5 billion animals in it. I've always got a washing machine going. I have, currently it is unplugged. Let me see. Right here. I'm getting all to this in a minute. That is unplugged, but there's a water dish that usually runs. And so there's multiple reasons why I have background music. So I understand it annoys a couple of you. There has not been a lot of people saying it, but I'm quelling it now. Now, getting on to, I'm just going to give a generalized opinion of a lot of the things I've been seeing as of late. And of course, my computer has to be loud. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Here's what I will tell you guys. We're gonna go over a few things because there was one why I've been quiet for 2 weeks. Well, I've just been incredibly stressed. I've had some personal issues come up between people that I don't know if we're friends anymore. But you know what? I've tried to be helpful, and it. What are you gonna do? And I've been working a lot at the restaurant, and this. All this, the battered wife syndrome, this is from stress. Apparently you can get low iron when you're deeply stressed. And I don't know if it's still there. Might be. I see a little dark spots here. Orion bruised my chin if you see my short. So that, I have been stressed. I've tried to catch up, and I'm glad now. Like, I'm catching up now. I'm going to have almost 2 weeks off at the end of this month, and during that time, I am going to do mass overhaul of everything. I'm going to get the membership set up. I'm going to overhaul the Patreon. I am going to mass produce stuff for the Instagram, for the Patreon, for the YouTube. So letting you guys know that now. Now, moving on. I'm going to see if I can flash it up on screen here, because right now I'm literally winging it. I'm by the seat of my pants. I recently saw that now they want to no longer promote diet and exercise to children. Now they would much rather we put these children on medication and bariatric surgery. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what does that teach the child about weight loss and health and proper diet and exercise and all that jazz? What does that teach them? All we are doing is playing into what they claim is the big pharma. It's the same narrative over and over again. You know, kids are very impressionable. And Michelle McDaniel actually just covered it, and I think I covered it a long time ago. That special where these were parents claiming that they can't control their children and what they eat. They can't control what goes in these kids' mouths. As if they aren't the ones purchasing the food for these children. I showed you guys photos because a lot of folks don't believe me when I say that I was not overweight. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it on camera. This is me. This is me at 4 years old. I'm the tiny one right there. My mother controlled everything I ate. Everything. I was skinny for most of my childhood. I will tell you at 11 years old, even here, This is me at 8. That was when I was first told I was morbidly obese. Okay? Now I want you to think about it, guys. I gotta find the other photo to get a good up-close shot. But this is me at 11 being told I was morbidly obese. Okay? And the reason why I show you these is this was back in the 90s. Okay? You can clearly see not morbidly obese. All right, let's start with that. My mother controlled every aspect of my diet. She was religious. We ate home cooked, whole foods, literally whole foods. And looking back now, I see where some of the BOPO people were talking about the extremes of back then. But I bring it up because clearly I wasn't overweight. Clearly, it wasn't that big. And this is what happens when a parent controls their child's diet. Do you know one of the reasons why I am as healthy as I am today? Because at least the foods that went into my system were nutritionally balanced. Yes, I'm overweight now. Yes, I am. But don't sit there and bullshit me and tell me you can't control what goes in your child's diet. My mother was overweight. Okay? Don't fuck around and find out around here. My mother was overweight. Okay? She was. My mother was meticulous. She didn't want us eating anything. I was tired of the phrase Procter & Gamble and hydrogenized oil. By the time I was 14, I heard that so much. You can't have that. There's hydrogenized oil in it. You can't have that. There's dyes in it. You can't have that. That's not healthy for you, Cassandra. I heard that all the time. So don't tell me. And when I would go to school, my mother got to the point where she made sure I couldn't trade foods. She made my foods untradeable. So don't tell me you can't control what goes in your child's system when you're the one making and buying the food. The child is relying on you. The proof is in the photos. What I thought, because I remember thinking to myself, I couldn't have been that big. I couldn't have been. Didn't seem that overweight. And looking back on the actual evidence, I was not. And the doctors kept telling my mother I was becoming huge, gigantic. The only reason I even gained any weight now is because we're Italian and we didn't understand portion size. So a lot of folks don't want to hear, but even as little as 20 to 120 extra calories a day can result in negative side effects. Them's the breaks. So yes, I gained roughly, I want to say 10 pounds a year. Maybe. And I can't remember. I want to say it started around the time I was 13, 14 is when I started. Because by the time I was 18, I was 200. And when I was this age, I weighed either 150 or 160. Now I want you to look at that photo, guys. Does that look like a morbidly obese person to you? Also, have I aged? Like almost at all? Let's see. Trying to... I stopped developing, clearly, after I turned 11. I was either 11 or 12 in that photo. And so it tires me. It exhausts me that now the medical field And again, I'm going to try to find the article somewhere on here. Thankfully, it's not a big push in the system right now, but it really disturbs me that that's the next push.
New recommendations to treat childhood obesity now include weight loss pills and surgery. That's according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, which updated its guidelines for the first time in 15 years. Dr. Diane Hess joins me now. She's the founder and medical director of Gramercy Pediatrics in New York City. Dr. Hess, how significant is this move to treating childhood obesity with both weight loss pills and surgery?
Well, they have been around. Some of the medicines are more recently approved for the use of ages 12 and up. Surgery we've had, it's not new. It's important because now we have guidelines. We have guidelines that we hope the insurance companies will recognize and actually start paying for obesity care and not consider it something cosmetic.
Because my mother raised me with a lot of good, healthy eating habits. First things I reach for are typically home-cooked foods. My mother raised me to be very judgmental and very suspicious of foods cooked at restaurants, especially big chains. Big chain restaurants, oh, my mother, absolutely, she cast judgment. She was like, That's literally the only restaurants we usually ate at were mom and pop, like small places. Rhode Island was really filled with that. So I'm just like floored at this idea. And I'm going to touch on a couple of the subjects that I definitely hit in those videos that are muted. But I am going to do full videos on them. It leads into this lack of self-accountability. For instance, like Tess Holliday and how nobody can tell her she's healthy.
I get this comment a lot, so let's address it. You're right. I do eat. And sometimes I eat a lot. And sometimes, like today, I don't. Would your interpretation of me and my perceived health still be the same if you didn't have that information? Would you still think that I was lying to you by looking at me based on the information that I just gave you? What if I told you that I hadn't eaten more than one meal in the last 3 days? Mostly this time because of heartbreak and less because of an eating disorder. Would you believe me then? Or maybe, just maybe, it's impossible to look at someone and tell whether or not they're struggling with an eating disorder or if they're healthy.
You're not being healthy. Oh, why she's having all these health issues, headaches, dizziness, all the things you don't like, like she said.
And when they came over, I wasn't feeling well. I was having like low blood sugar, all the things that you don't want.
And, but then she has the gall to tell Gwyneth Paltrow she's not eating right.
I have coffee, but I really like soup for lunch. I have bone broth for lunch a lot.
You know, what I find most mental about this is that we've known for years that she is okay with glorifying her eating disorder. And I'm not judging because I have an eating disorder. Bone broth is not a suitable meal. And then to end your day with just eating vegetables, but yet people continue to give her airtime, to give her a platform, to take her advice because everyone is too afraid to be fat.
Yeah, that's coming. And then you have people that say, and again, it's self-accountability. Nobody wants fat people to be happy. And the funny thing is, I used her in one of my recent videos. I didn't realize it was the same girl.
Right, so let's use this nasty ass comment as an example, ladies and gentlemen. So this person is saying that they're on a weight loss journey and they are super unhappy because they're fat. And that is the case for some people. I understand that. But why the hell would you hate on another person of size if you yourself are not happy with your size? That has nothing to do with someone else's body. And why does my body affect you? It's disgusting.
She's got oxygen on and she's worried about whether or not she can travel. Sis. And now you're sitting here saying that anytime you purchase an extra seat, these airlines have to refund you?
How would you feel about paying extra for your plane ticket so a fat person sitting next to you can have 2 seats so they can feel more comfortable? Because that's what this influencer called Jaylene Cheney wants to do. She is petitioning for all airlines to give obese people multiple seats, as many as they want or need to feel comfortable, and they have to get them for free. So those seats still have to be paid for somehow, and she is suggesting that the price will just get absorbed into all of the other passengers' costs. Okay, right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. How about you either just pay for your own multiple seats? You can get as many as you want, or wait to travel until you can fit in a single seat.
Is you serious? I can't. I physically can't. And they sit there and say that there was this thing on Jubilee. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna react to this too, where people were saying that people have no choice in being overweight because of disabilities or some illness, and because of that, we have to swath all overweight people with that. Well, okay. So some people are born without legs, right? Some people are born without legs. So does that mean from here on out we should not sell shoes to anybody or market them as standard shoes because some people aren't able to buy them? Do we start saying that walking is not something everyone can do purely because some people lack the ability to walk? Sometimes because they're overweight. I hope you get what I'm saying here. You can't sit here and say, well, all overweight people can't be held accountable because there's some who have a disability, which I'm sorry. I said this for in other videos. Just because you are with a disability does not mean you lack any ability to lose weight. Every person I know with a disability and the weight gain has happened because of it, fight tooth and nail to not let that disability control their lives. What it feels like to me is in this day and age, people are just wanting to be able to live lazy lifestyles. You know, I had an achievement this last month. Because as you guys may have seen, when I get salty on my posts, one of my top fans has now accused me of being 700 pounds, which I'm like, shit. When did I gain the other 300? Well, now I'm actually in the 380s still. And I find it funny. I keep getting accused, and I've actually realized, I've been saying in a couple of videos, I keep getting accused that I'm not losing weight. But then I posted that I'm down to 388. Now, of course, the next 2 days in a row, I stood the entire shift while I was at work. So then I swelled. But fun fact I found out, now this is something where, okay, this is going to sound silly, guys, but it didn't occur to me until I heard a personal trainer say it. You have to swell. And sometimes that swelling is going to take a while. That's the muscle actually building. Apparently, you shouldn't be icing after a workout. I forget what they said, but they said you shouldn't be icing. You should be icing before, not after. Because if you knock down the swelling, you're not going to build the muscle as fast. And that didn't occur to me. I didn't think of that. So you have to have the swelling, you have to have the soreness, and then that, they're tearing things apart and building back on. That's kind of cool. science. And I've noticed that I'll go up a pound or up a couple of ounces after the swelling goes down. Well, I've always been able to gain muscle very easily. As a matter of fact, the 160-pound 11 to 12-year-old Starson, I had an ass you could bounce a quarter off of, and thighs for days. I still do, but those thighs were toned. And I could walk all the time. I used to run up and down the stairs in my old house. I had a half-acre of land that I ran around on. I used to walk to church. I used to be able to walk a mile or two because my old school. Let me find out. Okay, Google. What is the distance from
is 1.7 miles away from by car.
So, I used to walk almost 2 miles when I was allowed to. Home from school. And I did that with joy. I can remember the exact section I loved. There was this little back road, and it was all these very pretty little houses, and they had gorgeous flowers. And I used to love walking that section. I'd sit there and I'd stare, especially in spring. The flowers and the trees were gorgeous. No doctors ever spoke about my muscles. I think that's sad. But going back, I know, because I went on I went to the woods there. Again, this is totally, I went into this completely unprepared for whatever I was going to say today, guys. I'm so frustrated, and I know I got to get something out there. So this is what you're getting. And I used to walk so much. You see, one of my favorite things to do is go for walks. Last night, for the first time in I don't know how long, I walked straight from my job a whole block to another building, walked and stood there, walked around because the owner showed me a location that is not open to the public yet, that she's remodeling. They're a friend of my boss. And I did it all without sitting or getting out of breath. That was a big deal, guys. I can't say the same for these people who are walking around with oxygen and demanding extra free seats on a plane. I can't say the same for these models that have fast food taste testing and speak about microaggressions and disparaging anyone who doesn't eat the way they want them to. I can't relate to these people, guys. I can't relate to these people who claim that they don't have a choice in the matter. You have a choice. You absolutely have a choice. You positively have a choice. You have a choice to choose your health. You have a choice to actively make better decisions. I realize my appetite has gone down. Now, I don't know if stress played a part, but I can't even eat what I was able to eat 2 weeks ago. My appetite has gone down. I am still full from, because we sell, actually I don't want to say because I don't want anyone to try to sneak up on what I do, but we were having seafood tonight. I had clams, I had crawfish, shrimp, and crab. And I was boiled, so it was reasonably healthy. I've been full for hours, and I'm probably still going to be full for hours because I've been doing high protein, and I am trying to make sure that what I ingest is well balanced. It's completely possible, guys. It is completely possible. The only thing holding yourself back is yourself. And I can say that firsthand. Now, you don't have to go slow like I'm doing it, because I am going slow. I am going to start doing more active exercising again. But I'm going slow because I'm getting older. And I know a lot of my followers have reiterated it in the comments. You have to, I don't know how old you guys think I am, but at my age, I am getting closer to 40 every day. I'm 36 this year. And while that may not seem old, with the damage I've done to my knees, I have to be careful. And that's what I ask of the rest of you. You have to do the health that's going to matter longest to you. I have followers who have recovered from disorders. I have followers that have had bariatric surgery. I have followers that have done it cold turkey. And they all say the same thing. You have to have lasting results. And in order to have lasting results, you have to make lasting small changes that are sustainable. So I first made sure that I was cooking again. That was the first change I made. The next thing I did was I made sure that the foods I was reaching for were healthy. That was the next change I did. And these all took me several months each time. One, because of finances, and two, because again, I wanted to make sure that when I made these choices, these were habits, natural habits, first inclinations, things I would reach for first. I dropped myself down to, I stick between 12 to 1700 calories a day. Now, obviously, sometimes I am off on that. Sometimes I'm on that. But I've noticed now when I get in the car, I don't have to adjust the seat like I used to. Again, when I went to the hairdresser, I fit in the seat a lot better. Guys, whether or not someone is making the progress according to your limits and your choices is irrelevant. What you want is irrelevant. And I think that's a dangerous precedent that you guys are setting for people, because most people aren't like me. Okay? I state it because no matter what, when I get annoyed, I have to say it. I have a big mouth. I don't know how to shut it. That's the case. And I'm going to tell you, this is my life. I have to do what's right for me. And if you don't like what I'm doing and somehow my message is not good for you, well, there's the door. And that's the first time I've ever said it. You do not have to follow me. You don't have to like that what I'm saying is true. And you don't have to like that I'm not losing weight fast enough for you. But someday I might not be doing YouTube. Someday I could be doing something completely different. And if I develop unhealthy habits just so I can appease some stranger across the internet, that could develop into really bad habits along the way. And that's not worth it to me. I have too much at stake. I have the rest of my life. And the reason why I say this is because I want you to remember that for you. Whoever is watching this, whoever you might be, whatever struggle you're going through, whatever ideology you are, struggling and grappling with. If there's a disorder, if there's a disease, if there's a problem, if there's a struggle, if there is a depression, whatever it might be, remember that at the end of the day, you are the only one that can make those choices. No one is holding you back. No one is oppressing you, and no one is stopping you. Short of either you are under the age of 18 and you aren't allowed to leave your house, or someone's got you strapped to a chair and is pouring food down your throat every day, then you actively have the choice. That's the point. You have the choice. And I know that sucks to hear. And I know there are people that are going to rail against that, and they're going to be upset that I said that, and it's going to bother them, and it's going to trigger them, and it's going to do whatever it does to them. It doesn't stop it from being true. The exceedingly rare cases of people that really can't help what's going on, you know full well we're not talking to you. And you who's going to try and say, well, what about? There is no what about. Don't listen to the cake people of the world and the Tess Holidays of the world and anyone else who's going to sit there and feed you sunshine and piss on your leg and tell you it's raining. The reality is that most of us, including myself, have gotten ourselves here. Could it have been unfortunate circumstances that you feel were unavoidable? Yes. Could it have been done under moments of stress? Yes. Now, should you have compassion for yourself over that? Absolutely. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't get nasty with yourself over it, but don't lie to yourself either. Don't pretend that just because it's uncomfortable to hear, that it isn't true. Because you and I both know it is. And that's where I'm going to leave this off. And I'm sorry if this was... I cannot wait to edit this. This is going to be crazy. Understand this, guys. I completely get it. That it is so easy to listen to these people that tell you it's not your fault. It is so easy to hear you deserve to experience what everyone else experiences. Yes, but you don't deserve to get special and luxury treatment for it. If you want to get the same experiences as everyone else, then you have to pay your dues like everyone else. And them's the facts. That's all I had to say about it, guys. I wish you luck, and I'll see you in the next one. I just want to add in, guys, really quick. Ford Show Joe 8080. Guys, prayer warriors, send a prayer out. His wife is going in for surgery on the 18th. And just want to make sure to shout out again that we want the best for him and for her. So, God bless, and you are still in my prayers. Hey, if you liked that video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, get the voice out there. I want to remind all of my followers that I love to hear about your success. So if you have lost weight, if you have succeeded in a fitness journey, a muscle journey, please make sure you send me your before and after photos, your age of starting, your current age, starting weight, all that. Send me all the information to thestarson@yahoo.com. That is thestarson@yahoo.com. I want to also start off by thanking all my patrons. You guys help me out so much. You fund me and you help me do this. And I greatly appreciate you. I want to thank John Quinn, Emil DeVry, Edie, Anime Chan, Lady Derpy, Chaka Hooligan, Esteban, Gina Sina, AJ Lare, Becoming a Better Me, Jenny Eller, Selma, Cindy Lowe, Desert Jack, Aura Kostecki, Cassandra Westgate, and JMMan09. Becoming a patron also allows you to get access. If you become a patron on my Patreon, you will gain access to all of these wonderful features. You're going to get access to my NSFW artwork that I do, artwork plain and simple. I upload my raw footage onto there for my patrons, and I just do some behind the scenes stuff. I am also going to start adding more things on in the coming months. I also want to thank my members on my YouTube. This is if you do not care about my artwork, if you don't care about, seeing all that different jazz and you just want to support me. You are just absolutely gems. Thank you guys so much. And I just appreciate you guys. Remember, both Patreon and my membership start at $1 a month. I do have a goal. Once I reach it, I plan on doing some kind of contest or giveaway, so keep that in mind. This is all my other social networks that I currently have. You can find me everywhere. I use the same name because if there's one thing I am, it's consistent. And everyone will be like, oh, not really, but it's okay. I try my best, guys. This is my most recent video or the videos I've done in the past. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. And as always, remember to tell the people that are important to you that you love them and to be safe. So guys, I love you. Be safe. Have a great day.